From the Arctic to the Atlantic, there are key moments in the lives of all marine creatures. They face challenges to find enough to eat and to avoid being eaten. Drones are helping scientists to uncover new behaviors by revealing details never seen before.
Oh wow, this is amazing, huh?
Because animals are changing old behaviors to meet their new needs. In some cases, separate species have learned to combine their special skills.
It's amazing how they fold their wings back just before they hit.
In South Africa, when missiles from the sky meet torpedoes beneath the sea, the result is a victory for both hunters. It's April on Bird Island, South Africa. 100,000 Cape gannets are gathered here for 3 months during the nesting season. Adult birds will need to find a huge quantity of food to satisfy the voracious appetites of their newly hatched chicks. Gannets are large birds with a wingspan of over 6 feet, and on land they sometimes appear clumsy. All of the avian predators communicate constantly, creating the largest informational network in the animal kingdom. This ocean internet allows them to operate like a single predator. At sea, the gannets turn into living missiles because they're perfectly adapted for surveying the marine world. They use a hunting technique that marries the sky with the ocean in an interspecies cooperation between them and dolphins. 2 biologists from Nelson Mandela University in Port Elizabeth are closely following this unique colony. But Lorian Pichegru and Andrea Taibo have only a brief window to uncover the secrets of the Cape gannet's mysterious hunting strategies.
I'm interested in the strategies marine birds use to find food, and especially how they work in groups to find food at sea. They can form networks, so you see small groups which stay at a certain distance apart, but close enough to observe one another. And that way, they can cover a vast zone. We call that a hunting network. These networks can scour huge distances at sea, and as soon as one group finds any prey, there's a sort of domino effect, and all the other birds will gather quickly. I'm focusing on the dive strategy and capture rate. I'd like to know more about the height from which they dive and the angle at which they hit the water. And at that speed, what depth that will take them down to. And then how they adapt their dive underwater. And if the form of the dive has an influence on their catch success rate. So I'm looking at the whole relationship between the moment when they decide to dive, the shape of the dive in the air, then in the water, and whether they catch something or not.
Although they have no external nostrils, the gannets can smell that prey is coming. They are ready for a hunt that involves 3 protagonists: the birds themselves, dolphins, and their mutual target. Thousands of eyes are watching and waiting. The biggest animal migration in the world is headed their way. 4 billion sardines are approaching Bird Island. The survival of the next generation of gannets depends on their parents' hunting success over the next 2 months. When the sweet, sour, fatty smell of sardines fills the air, it's the signal for the birds to head out. Over just a few days, 40,000 birds spread over the 1,800 square miles of Algoa Bay. They're searching for the bait fish over a huge area. The biologists are also searching for the sardines, but they need to find another creature first. Locating the fish beneath a seemingly infinite sea that stretches miles in every direction seems impossible. The Cape Gannets and the scientists are both watching for signs of a precious ally, common dolphins. Suddenly, the mammals arrive. First, just a few. Then their numbers increase. 100, 200. The dolphins surge ahead, acting as lookouts. They swim in front of a group of gannets floating in a raft formation. The birds don't move because they know that while the dolphins are swimming like this, they are still exploring. There's no prey yet in sight. The hunt is now spread out along a 12-mile line. The dolphins use their powerful sonar to probe the ocean expanse. There are nearly 1,000 of them now. For every dolphin seen, there are another 8 below the surface. The dolphin squadron is a long-range detection machine, and nothing escapes its notice for miles around. Now the gannets' success depends entirely on the dolphins' ability to track down their mutual prey. Sardine shoals in the area begin to sense vibrations in their bodies from the dolphin's sonar. Sensing danger, the fish move closer together, closing ranks. The first stage of the joint hunt is underway. Now the dolphins radically change their swimming pattern. They begin circling. They have found a shoal of sardines. The hunters dive, which causes the fish to panic and pack more tightly together. Then the dolphins guide the sardines towards the surface, corralling them into a compact ball of prey. At this stage, the bait ball presents problems for the dolphins. It pulsates in constant motion, with each individual fish only visible for a few seconds. The hunters are unable to target a single prey, so the dolphins must wait for allies. The sight of dolphins circling a shoal attracts the attention of some Cape Gannets about a mile away, and they burst into action. Their flight triggers a second, more distant group to take to the air, and so it unfolds. When the magic happens, the network spreads the information quickly. A strategy begins to take shape, and the feast begins. First, the gannets plunge into the center of the bait balls, which causes the fish to panic and scatter. The sardines disperse for a few seconds, losing the protection of the ball. It's just long enough for the dolphins to swiftly target and capture their prey. This collaborative strategy between predators is devastating for the sardines. An attack can last for hours until the victims have all been eaten. Sometimes, a surprise guest shows up at the banquet. This mink quail mops up the remains of the feast. Once the shoal has been devoured, the dolphins regroup into a new search patrol, while the birds spread out again to reform their network. But how do the gannets locate their prey? Andrea wants to uncover more of their secrets. After 6 weeks of observing the tactics used by the gannets in the middle of the ocean, the biologists want to spend the rest of the season describing in more detail the catch techniques used by the birds. They head back out to sea with Lewis. With them are 3 specialty camera operators. The scientists are hoping to observe the birds hunting from every angle.
It's really exciting. We're having the drones in the air, we've got the camera on the boat and the cameraman underwater, so we really can follow the birds when it starts diving, so its heights, when it's hit the water, when it's doing underwater. Because we can coordinate with the time, the camera on the boat and the camera underwater and the drone. So that's why it's very exciting to work with that crew, because we are going to be able to see stuff we've never seen before.
The technical crew prepares, ready to follow the scientists' instructions. The high-speed camera allows the action to be slowed down 40 times, revealing the bird's slightest movements. This external camera synchronizes with the underwater camera to capture the entire sequence of the bird's attack. The researchers are delighted with the first results from this multi-camera setup. But they need to work fast. Barely 2 months remain before the birds will move on, and the weather allows them only 1 or 2 attacks per week. Each time the scientists return to port, they bring back fresh discoveries. Everyone is eager to see the day's research.
So ladies, I've been looking at the vision that we've been shooting on the high-speed camera. So that big camera I've been using has been doing 500 pictures a second, whereas normal video is 25.
Yeah.
So there we've got a lot of data, and because of that, then we can start looking at things like acceleration and all those parameters of the dives.
Wow.
So what I've done, I just took one and I've tracked the bird. So I've put the dot on the tip of the beak.
Okay.
And then as we run through, you can see how it's graphed the position. And you can see this. What we need is a reference size in the picture.
Yeah.
And so what I've done here, where it's blue, I've measured the beak,
Okay.
but I said it's 10 centimetres.
Okay.
And then try and work out how fast the bird was when it was hitting the water.
Yes.
It's actually a simple calculation. Because the beak is 10 centimeters long, the number of beaks between the bird's starting position and the surface gives the exact height of the dive.
So this is starting at 5 metres, and then the whole event has taken almost 0.5 of a second. So there's metres up here, and then second down here, so it was pretty well 5 metres over half a second, so 10 metres per second acceleration, which if you want to convert to kilometres an hour would be, you multiply that by 3.6, and so 36 kilometres an hour.
When the calculation is repeated dozens of times, the results are surprising.
It's amazing how they fold their wings back just before they hit.
We know that the maximum they can go to is 100 kilometers an hour when they hit the water. So
About 100 kilometres an hour is
that would be
that's a massive amount of
energy.
You mustn't hit something at that speed.
Yeah,
For sure.
I
Well,
mean,
unless it's a fish.
but even hitting the water at 100 kilometres an hour is like hitting concrete.
After several days of additional observations, Lorian confirms that there are 2 distinct types of dives, each with a different function.
So you see now, Louis, what I'm working on at the moment is, you see that bed wall, so I'm interested in the different kind of dives of the gannets, so relating the height with the shape of the dive underwater. So we think that the different kind of dives, the V dives and the U dives, we call them. So the V dives is when the gannet hit the water and goes straight down and up again, so that makes a V.
These direct dives seem intended to break up the ball of fish in an effort to cooperate with the dolphins. Cape gannets actually only catch prey on 7 dives out of 100.
Dives when they go down and then they actually chase a prey, and they probably go further up, going underwater further up and longer.
Underwater, gannets are accomplished swimmers. Their close-set eyes allow them to see in 3 dimensions and adapt instantly to the liquid world. Their wings act as flippers, allowing them to pursue their prey without having to surface for up to 2 minutes. No other bird that is also capable of flight can match this performance. Perhaps the most incredible discovery is the truce that's seen between the hunters. Gannets are ideal prey for the many copper sharks, which profit from the sardine run. But during the hunt, the sharks are only interested in fish.
Have you got any idea of how deep they dive when they do the V dive?
When they go quite high, when they dive from quite high, they can go down to 12 meters and go straight up. But I've got some record of 18 to 25 meters when then they fly down in the water and then they chase. So, which is quite nice for a flying bird.
Yeah.
Along with creating dive profiles, the research team established that a Cape gannet dives around 30 times a day to catch the 7 fish necessary for the survival of its family. As the season progresses, the sardines move north. Each day finds them another 3 to 5 miles from Bird Island. By the end of June, they are nearly 200 miles from the gannet colony, and it takes the birds 2 days to reach their prey. Their net energy gain falls to 0. It is time to abandon the hunt for this year. The 10 million sardines which the adult birds brought home over the past 2 months will allow 30,000 chicks on Bird Island to grow strong and eventually fend for themselves. And for the first time, thanks to Lorian and Andrea's research, the Cape gannets can't hide the secrets of their superb hunting techniques any longer.